Hey guys, welcome to Pellets and Pits. Today is all about a classic smoked barbecue beef sandwiches. You guys want to see how we make this? Here we go. All right, to get started, we have about a 3 1/4 pound of chuck roast. Very, very versatile. I thought this would be a great recipe for today. I think my kids are gonna like it. They love barbecue to begin with. So barbecue beef just goes right up their alley. We haven't done chuck roast in a long time. Great way to do it. All right, bonder. Really quick. Little W sauce. Some mustard. You just want to make sure you get all sides. To that, we're at our Texas rub. That recipe can be found on pelletsandpits.com. Very simple, very simple. The more we use it, the more we like it, which means the more we use it. So, very good rub. Just a good base coat on that. Hit it with Q that since we're going the barbecue flavor. Much barbecue flavor as we can. Remember, it's a big piece of meat, so we can handle the much seasonings you can give it. Don't worry about that. Now that is one good seasoned piece of meat. All right, let me show you really quickly. I'll keep my dirty hand on. All right. Today's pellet choice, hickory, straight up hickory from Bear Mountain. And then I did a 50-50 blend with charcoal blend from Pit Boss. Hickory and charcoal is my two favorite, so I thought it'd be a better way to do it today. Could be one of my staples, we'll have to see. Got the Traeger rocking around 260. I just split the difference between 250 and 275. On the pit it goes, and we're going to cook that until about 160 degrees. All right, really quickly, I'm going to do a cheat mode on slaw. So I talked to the kids, they have no interest in slaw. Talked to the wife behind the camera, she has no interest in slaw for this recipe. I want a little bit of slaw on the side or maybe on the sandwich, so I'm going to shortcut it. On the Flat Top King, I've made slaw before in the past, several videos, and I actually like to add apple, maybe a little jalapeno, some green onion, some white onion, something like that. But the one thing I can say is I don't like overly sweet or overly dressed slaw. So I'm just going to try to basically just portion out what I think I'm going to eat. Keep it very, very simple. Okay. A little vinegar. Touch of salt. Touch of pepper. A little celery seed. You could add like red pepper flakes. Stuff like that. Like I said, keeping it very, very, very basic. And I really don't think with the barbecue that adding all the extra to the slaw either would make the slaw stand out. I think the slaw is just going to be an extra crispness or crunch. We'll start with that much sugar. I can tell you right now, a little bit more vinegar. The only tip I can give you about slaw is if you don't like your slaw super saucy, err on the side of drier first, because as the slaw sits, that moisture from the cabbage is going to leak out and make it more soupy. So kind of like a brace for that impact. You can always add, but once the slaw breaks down for a few hours in the refrigerator, not only will the texture change, but the sauciness is going to change too. That's kind of perfect for me right there. Just enough to dress it. Balance of the sugar and the vinegar is all I'm looking for, and basically the mayonnaise is kind of like a thickener, really. I'm gonna let it sit. I might add a little bit more sugar. I'm gonna taste that barbecue sauce. That barbecue sauce got a lot of sugar into it, so we might just have to balance what we got. It's good on salt, good on pepper. It's good on mayonnaise and vinegar. All right, we have a full pan, kind of like half size. I have about 3/4 cup of beef stock. I just warmed it up because it's going to help speed up the process of this cooking. You could put it in there cold if you want to. Vinegar, about half a cup. I finally diced some white onion. Honestly, shredded would have been fine, but I'm hoping this cooks down enough where my kids don't notice it. That's the name of the game, trying to incorporate vegetables and not let them see it. So sliced onions would have been fine. A couple glugs of Worcestershire sauce. A couple glugs of some hot sauce. And here's the deal. So early on was my favorite barbecue sauce until you start tasting other barbecue sauces. The reason why I like it, I could always add to it. I'm a very vinegar type of guy. So I'd use this as a base, add vinegar, add a little red pepper, stuff like that. And it was a good mix for us. The family liked it as well. With all the vinegar in there, instead of getting another like vinegar style barbecue sauce great out of the bottle, this is kind of like the same idea. So I'm gonna use this, the thickness, the sweetness, and the smokiness to balance with the heat, the Worcestershire sauce, the brown, the beef stock, and the vinegar. So I'm looking about for a cup of this. We're gonna raise this up to about 325, 320. It won't matter. Woo! Look at that color. We're hitting about 160 to 163, somewhere through there. Just take some of that sauce, spoon it all over the top. Get some nice coverage, something like that. Wrap that sucker in aluminum foil, and now on the pit it goes. I'm gonna rock anywhere like 200, 204, somewhere through there. Now it's looking for tenderness, right? To get up to 160, 165, we're looking for flavor. Now it's all about tenderness. And then once it gets up to about that temperature, we're gonna take it off, pull it, try to separate some of the bad fats from it, and then put it back on here, almost like the idea of burnt ends, and let some of that sauce caramelize and stick to the pieces of meat before we make our sandwich. All right, and we have hit that internal temperature around 200 degrees. Took about an hour, hour and a half on the smoker once we got up to temp. It's not ready.
Needs to go longer?
Yep. No, it's not ready. All right, we're gonna put it back on there. Maybe bring it up to like 204 or something like that. So hey, sometimes you put thermometers in there, sometimes it registers, and sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know for a fact that is way too tough. The whole point about a barbecue sandwich is to be tender. It's not tender. So on the pit it goes. I'm gonna turn the temperature back down because I did have it up to 325. So bring it back down to 325. Put it back on the pit. Maybe try a different place. And then the next time we'll do this, I'll make sure it's tender so don't waste your time. Alrighty, we are finally there. Now this is way more tender. I'm gonna drain off a lot of that juice because it's got so much of that fat in there. Go and shred this up. Any big pieces of fat, you know, I mean, I guess you could keep it in there, but honestly, talking about a sandwich, I'd probably take the big chunks out. So I'm just gonna shred this up. You don't have to be fine with it. I kind of like the chunky part of it. I'll show you guys what it looks like. All that smoke in there. All right, it's cold enough outside to kind of speed up this process. You could always throw this in the refrigerator if you wanted to. But right now I'm just skimming the fat off because you would not believe how flavorful this broth is underneath it. So I want to save as much of it as possible because it's a great kind of like, I know it sounds crazy, like an au jus style, but get as much of that grease off there as possible because I don't want this sandwich greasy. Something like that. Looks good to me. Oh, that's a great nugget right there. Oh my God. This is gonna be the base for the liquid. I'm looking about maybe like half. Just enough to wet the bottom of the pan, create some moisture, And then on top, we're gonna come back with the actual barbecue sauce. Kind of like the idea of ribs, we're gonna let this tack up. Maybe 20, 30 minutes uncovered. Smoker's up at 350, uncovered. Maybe 20, 30 minutes, something like that, and let all the juices and flavors and the beef and all that come together. I think we're right on point. We are looking good. Alrighty, there she is. That beautiful tender beef. Look how much more moisture absorbed. Remember all that liquid you put in the bottom? You wouldn't even notice it. I think the beef kind of like sucks it up, absorbs it. I know it sounds crazy, but looky there. That is just absolutely fantastic. God, that looks good. Tender. All right, here we go. The flat rock's on, and I'm just gonna take these and dry toast them. Just get a little crisp on the bottom. There goes them fingers again. Well, you couldn't stand it, could you? You didn't trust me, did you?
They're good.
Yeah, you dang right, it's good. All right, keeping it simple. I made my slaw. I kind of moved it up to the side. You see the dressing right there? I don't like mine too wet, so I just moved it off to the side. The barbecue sauce, little Texas Pete. I know it sounds crazy. Hear me out. We have it in our refrigerator all the time. We put it on pork sandwiches and we love it. So we're gonna put that on there today. Don't hate me. Just a little bit. Okay. We have some dill pickles and some thinly sliced white onion as well. So it's really however you want to build your sandwich. I went with a slider route today just because it gives you different options. Kind of like a sweet Hawaiian style bun. These two we're gonna go plain for the girls. For mine, just a little bit of hot sauce. Top it with some of that slaw. Hit this one with some pickles. I love my pickles on my sandwich. And some of them thinly sliced onions. Maybe just a touch more sauce. There you go. You can't really do anything else. I mean, no matter how you dress it, how you fix it, how you make it, that's up to you. We just made the meat and you guys can go with it as far as you want to. I know one thing. These things are good. I was about to say a word I didn't want to say out loud. They're good. All right. I like the slaw. We're going to the slaw. Although I want the one with the Arby's sauce on it. Which one is that one? We got to find the one with the Arby's sauce too.
That one, I think.
This one. Oh, yeah. You know what that tastes like?
Heaven.
McRib.
McRib.
Yeah, you got the pickle, you got the onion, you got the barbecue sauce. There we go. Let's get a good bite right there. Trust me on this. It just adds something. You know? I didn't adjust my recipe. Even though I thought it could use a little bit more sugar, I was worried about the tang. I'm glad I didn't because of the sweetness of the barbecue sauce. And that's what I was worried about. I've always tried to teach balance. You got vinegar, you got sweet, you got eat. We just did beef jerky a few days ago and it was kind of like the same thing. Once I tasted it, I thought it might have been off a little bit on the sweetness. I adjusted it myself. You guys have to find that balance yourself. But I don't know, as much as I like that, have you tried the classic
I haven't
yet?
tried that
Here,
one.
Try that one. And the smaller buns seems like you can eat more of them without feeling as guilty.
That's good.
I'm gonna go inside and enjoy them.
That's good.
We got French fries in the oven. We got kids waiting on these. And I think it's just a fantastic way. They don't even know if there's onions in there, guaranteed. I wish we could make a poll right now, like a hidden camera. Anyways, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. I don't know which one to get.
It's
Classic.
cold. Get 'em in.
This is like a
It's
classic,
cold.
and this is like advanced.
They're both good.